Hello, good evening. Welcome to this edition of the program. Tonight, we are going to concentrate on the opposition New Patriotic Party. The party's challenge for the national leadership goes into home stretch this week, and the races for a national chairman, a national general secretary, a national organizer, a national youth organizer, and the national women's organizer, as well as some positions for the vice chairman roles. All of that will be sorted out at the Tamale Sports Stadium on Saturday. As the race enters its home stretch, we heard about an accident that, in which, unfortunately, one of the aspiring contestants for the position of General Secretary was involved. We are gratified to hear this evening that Kwabena Japan is responding to treatment and is quite very well. Tonight, though, we'll focus on one of the controversial institutions of this race. Paul Afoko came up for controversy when the vetting committee initially decided that he had more questions to answer. After a while of investigations, he was even given the all clear to continue the campaign. We are hearing from analysts now that Paul Afoko is neck to neck in the final race to become chairman of the NPP. He's become, obviously, one of the front runners. How did he make it from the back to the front? We'll be talking about that tonight. And who is Paul Afoko? Is he a politician or is he a businessman? That's the big interview for tonight. Welcome. Thank you very much for your time. We're going to have a political interview. It's a while since we did that, but Paul Afoko is here. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Welcome.
Paul.
Thank you for graciously agreeing, accepting our interview opportunity very late. You were in Eastern Region?
Yes, I was.
When we spoke this morning, you were somewhere in Eastern Region.
Yes, I was in Eastern Region. I was in Kufudia.
Did they receive you well?
Yes, they did.
They did.
They did. It was very good.
Let's start from the hottest issue. What was all that about? What did you do wrong for the vetting committee? What was all that about? How did you... I saw your interviews on Metro TV expressing your innocence, and
yes,
everyone was getting worried about it. Eventually, you were given the all clear to campaign after some, 2 weeks?
I don't really, I can't say what I did wrong. I don't think I did anything wrong. Basically, what it was that I went in for the vetting, and I was presented with a petition.
A petition against you?
Yes, in fact, I didn't even get to see the petition. I was just told that there was a petition there, and that the petitioner had stated that I had been convicted in England for cocaine-related offenses.
Oh, wow.
That I was a dealer, etc., etc. Not only was I a cocaine convict, I was a cocaine addict. And I tried to tell them that there was no truth to it. But I was just told that no, there's a need to protect the party and from any future comebacks. And so I needed to prove that I was innocent. I thought the burden of proof should not be on me, but in any case, that was what was demanded. The long and short of this story is that the committee took this matter to Interpol.
The International Police Organization?
Yes.
To find out what?
To find out if I had ever been convicted as per the petition in England. Although I had told them that I've never ever been to prison except when I was detained as a political prisoner. I've never been.
In England? Were you detained as a political prisoner in England?
No, here in Ghana.
In Ghana?
Yeah.
Who detained you?
Under the PNDC, I was detained.
Oh, were you that active in politics even then? PNDC?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, I was.
Okay, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that.
For me, Interpol got involved, and I felt that Interpol, their main remit is to get fugitives from justice, get you and bring you back. Although yes, as I said, their main remit, they can also do this sort of thing, but it's not the priority. Therefore, it took over 3 weeks for them to come back with an answer. And I thought at the time, when I heard on the news that it was Interpol, I thought, this is like pair trolling, you know, when the fishing vessels go out pair trolling, and they just hoover everything that they find. So it could have been, they could have found anything against me.
Yes. Even a driving offense?
Yes, even the driving offense. If I'd been convicted, they would have found it. But in any case, I have always said that as a very good Christian, a very good Catholic, I I believe in God. I say my prayers regularly, and the good Lord stood by me and said, I have told the truth, and the truth came out. So at least, of the 4 people who are contesting the chairmanship position, I'm the only one who can truly stand up and say that an international police organization has done a thorough job on me.
That you can say that you are clean and wholly clean?
Clean.
How were you told that you have passed the test of the Interpol investigation?
Well, after about 3 weeks, getting to a month, I was invited back in, same panel again. And this time I was told that they had gone to Interpol, the report had come back, and that I had been found to be, to use their phrase, they said I was not known to the British police or the British authorities, which therefore meant that I was clean.
So did they then tell you who the petitioner was?
I asked to see the petition because they had refused earlier to tell me who it was. And I had actually stated in that meeting when they refused to tell me that if this person can be believed by such a body as our vetting committee, then it means that person must be so important, must have such a good standing in society that the person's word outweighs mine, me who wants to be party chairman. But no, they wouldn't let me know who it was. But in the end, on that day I asked, and I was given the petition. And in fact, very visible. It was 1 sheet of paper. Even the paper wasn't full. And it just stated petition against Paul Afoko. Paul Afoko has been convicted for...
What's the name of the petitioner?
David Jesse. I don't know whether that's
David Jesse.
I don't know whether it's a nom de plume, because you see, it says David Jesse, and then it says UK/Ghana. That's all.
No address?
No address, no phone number, email address, no contact whatsoever.
Did the committee tell you if they saw David Jesse?
No, they didn't.
Did you ask them?
Well, initially when I was asking questions, they told me it was nothing to do with David Jesse. At that time, I didn't know it was a David Jesse. They said it was all to do with me. You are the one who wants to be chairman. So you have to... When I said the burden of proof cannot be placed on me, it should be on whoever it is that alleged. I was told, no, you are the one who wants to be chairman.
That derailed your campaign by 3 weeks?
Yes, it stalled it, not derailed. I mean, derailed just means off the rails completely. It stalled it a bit. It slowed it down. Did
you feel bitter?
No, because I was clear. I knew that I'd never had any.
Do you think that somebody must have been orchestrating this against you? This is a political contest,
yes,
and you have opponents.
Yes.
And do you feel now that you are out of it, that some political camp may have been orchestrating this against you?
During the time that I was waiting, I had some time to think about it. And I really believe that, yes, this is something that is coming from maybe one of the contestants, maybe a whole, as you say, camp, but no. I just felt that there was something afoot, and it was meant to get me out of the way. I mean, I cannot go into the whole story as to how it unfolded in that vetting committee room. But if you were there with me to go through everything that happened, then you would be forced to that one conclusion. But for me, I felt that it was a waste of my energy to go on speculating as to who it is.
So you are unhappy with the party as it is?
No, I'm not unhappy.
Not. Do you have asked to grind with some members of the vetting committee who you felt were, by their manner of questions or their demeanor, may have been against you?
No, I don't have any access to grind. I mean, as I told you, it's placed me in a better position because of all the 4, I'm the only one
who has been cleared, who
can stand up and say, international police has cleared me. I'm the only one.
How come then did you recover to become a front runner? All our checks indicates that you are a front runner for Saturday's event, that there are 2 of you and another, one of you will pick the chairmanship.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. For me, I have been in the field and caught up in the fray. So I haven't really had time to pause, to come up for air and to see what's going on. I am just going.
No, we have checked, and you are one of the front runners for the chairmanship, and there are two of you.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I have expected all along that I have come into this race to win it. And so if your checks say that I am one of, then I'm glad. It means I'm doing something right and that I'm on the right path.
What did you tell the people on the ground after you hit the ground? What did you tell them?
Well, I did. Because I've been to, initially, round one, I went to 270 constituencies out of the 275. 5 I couldn't go to because they had constituency election problems. But this second round, I have been round to everyone.
275?
Oh. Yes, I have.
So you've done 270 of them twice?
270, yes. Yes.
That must cost a lot of money.
Well, the first time I went individually. But this time around, I grouped them. So it was no longer having to go from constituency to constituency. But the first time around I did. I went around constituency to constituency. But this time around I grouped them, zoned them. That way I could go through it quickly. Because I had already spent so much time sitting and twiddling my fingers and waiting for what was going to happen. Knowing very well that I was clean. I had the belief. The only distress for me was that I tried hard to keep my children from finding out.
Your children?
Yes, in England.
From finding out that such a matter was brewing in England?
Yes.
Did you succeed?
I didn't. In this day of internet.
Yeah.
They found it very quickly. And
how old are they?
Oh, they're grown up.
Okay.
So they're not really children. In England, I have 3 kids in England.
Okay.
The senior one is she's finished Oxford. She's
University of Oxford?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Oh.
That's a good one.
I mean,
You're not that young then, Mr. Afoko.
No, I'm not.
She look young.
I am not. I'm not.
Is it because you are rich?
No, it's because I have taken care of myself. Thank you.
If you're just joining us, this is Good Evening Ghana. We're coming to you live from Metro TV, and we're having a conversation with Mr. Paul Afoko. He is one of the front runners of the MPP's race for national chairmanship. The race occurs on Saturday at the Tamale Sports Stadium. Metro TV will bring you those proceedings live by update. Wow. Let's know who you are, Mr. Afoko. What's your background? Many people consider you a businessman, and they don't consider you as a politician. Today I'm hearing that you have even suffered political incarceration under Rawlings. That's very interesting. I'd like to hear that story in some detail. But did you go to school in Ghana?
Yes, I did. I started off my life as every kid does. I started off with elementary school in Navrongo.
Navrongo?
Yes. Actually, my mom comes from Navrongo.
Okay.
My dad comes from Sandema. I am a royal from the Sandema, from the family, from Abilieri. And I'm from the Sandem Nav's Palace. My dad comes from there. My mom comes from Navrongo. I was actually born in Navrongo because my dad was a policeman. Okay. And so he was with my mom here in Accra. And she went back home to give birth to me. Okay. So she went to her parents and gave birth to me, and we came back to Accra as a baby. I went to school in Navrongo initially, left, joined my parents in Tamale when my dad moved. Then from there, I went to secondary school, O-levels in Boko Secondary. And at that time, there was no sixth form in Boko Secondary. So when I finished, I went to Navasco for sixth form.
Well, the famous Navasco?
It's the same Navasco.
Navasco was a hotbed of political activity with Abdurrahman Haruna Atta and Chris Atim and others.
Yes. Unfortunately, I didn't get to meet people like that.
But they had left before you.
They had left before I got there. But I have since gotten to know them and know them well. And I respect them a lot.
So after Navasco, then you left?
After Navasco, I stayed in Ghana for a year. I got myself involved in political activity.
How did you get arrested? What did you do?
Well, it was the overthrow of Dr. Hilal Liman that led to my arrest. What happened then was that the PNDC had just overthrown Rawlings and overthrown Hilal Liman on the 31st of December, 81. And as a young man, hot-headed, I was a PFP man, not a PNP. I was
the Popular Front Party of Victor Uso.
Yeah, Victor
That's
Uso.
a UP.
Yeah. My house was very interesting at the time because my dad was UNC.
Oh, I see. That's
and so I went out with some of my friends and we organized a demonstration in Bolga against the revolution. Professor Tamale has written about it in his book, the current president of the National House of Chiefs. And so we organized a demonstration, and while the demonstration was ongoing, we felt that nobody was listening. We are in Bolga, and all the action is in Accra. So with a few friends, we discussed, they agreed, we went together, we seized the radio station in Bolga, which was the only FM
state-run radio station.
Yes, an FM station. It was the one and only, Yuva FM, and so we seized it. And I was the one who made the announcements, saying that anybody listening to me should resist this illegitimate government, and that we had no guns to resist them, but we had something more powerful than guns, which was our labor, and that all Ghanaians should lay down their tools. Everybody go home. Don't
you spoke
work.
on Bolga radio?
Yes, don't work. Don't go to work. They can't come home and shoot you for not going to work. If we all stayed away, within a week the economy of Ghana will collapse. And once it collapses, the soldiers will have to run away, back to their barracks, and we, the civilians, come back and revive the economy by working again. And whilst I was doing all these, messages had gone out, and we didn't have mobile phones then, so it was wireless messages. And they came, the ABF, Airborne Force in Tamale, came down to look for me. I was fortunate. Burkina Faso was just across the border, just very close, so I was off.
You jumped into Burkina?
Yeah, on the back of a motorbike. The month or two later, there was a gentleman, a member of the PNDC at the time, Alorga Katapore.
Yes.
He came home because he comes from Bolga area. And in the process, my dad was contacted and told that I could come back home, no problems. So I agreed. I came back home. Those days there was curfew, 3 years of curfew. So I came back home, and I spent only a night. By dawn, the soldiers had surrounded the house and picked me up.
Oh, they had been told that you were
back?
Yes.
I ended up in Gonda Barracks.
In Accra?
Yes. Oh, they transported.
How did they transport you? By car?
By chains. Yes.
By car?
Yes.
All the way?
Yes. Brought me to Accra and then took me to Gonda Barracks. I was fortunate, actually. I was fortunate. The operations officer at the time was one of my classmates, Lieutenant Peter Achana, who later that year was killed. Yeah, he was the operations officer.
So he identified you?
And yeah, he did, but he pretended he didn't know me at the time.
Of course, yeah.
And then when the attention had been taken off me, he said they couldn't keep me in Gonda Barracks because I would be in danger. So he organized for me to be sent away. And so I was put away in prison. But fortunately for me, from 82 all through to 83, there was an attempted coup by one Kofi Jiwa.
Yes, on the 19th June.
19th.
1983.
And that
was a Sunday.
That's how I got out.
Oh, you escaped?
I escaped.
You broke the prison walls?
I didn't. Kofi Jiwa broke the jails. And he came to take his friends out, so they would help him to overthrow the government.
Yes.
And he didn't have enough men with him. And I'm not a soldier, never held a gun in my life, apart from a shotgun that I used to go hunting with my friends in the north. So
you left?
Yes, I left. I went off to England, and I stayed in England, didn't come back home till 2000.
You left the prison and was able to go through the airport and all that?
Oh, I couldn't have gone straight away because they were search and destroy. They had these teams going around.
Yeah,
and
the
they were
PDCs.
Yes. No, the PDCs were not that strong at the time. These were military units, and they were sent on a search and destroy mission. So they were hunting down the dissidents, those who had escaped from prison.
So you've had your fair share of battle against military rule and politics and all of that?
Well, yes.
Yeah, apparently. This is an interesting story.
Yes.
So you went away for many years and then you came back? I
came back home and I got involved again in politics. But this time, in the back seat. Because I thought I've grown older, longer in the tooth, wiser, have a family, need to keep my head down, but support my party. Support from the background, with ideas, with resources, where I can. And that's what I did. I stayed in the background. My dad, I come from a political family.
Yes, I was going to go to your political family. Your father is a member of the CPP government, I've been told.
No, my father never was. As I said, my father was a policeman, but my uncle, Akantrisi Afoko, whom my father comes after, he went to the Legislative Assembly on our ticket, the NPP. He only crossed carpet when we turned into
a one-party state. But your father remained with the NPP?
My father remained, and in fact, he actually served, when the ban on politics was lifted, he served on the regional executive of the Upper East region, and then he won 2 elections to the Council of State under President Kufuor's government. So he came in to the Council of State with President Kufuor and exited with President Kufuor. And as we speak, he's at home. Today, he's in Bolga. Not in Sandbam, in Bolga.
I see.
Yes.
Later tonight, I'll be asking you whether you think that Nana Akufo-Addo's ambition to become presidential candidate is a good one and whether you think he should be challenged. But I'll ask you that later in this interview. You can send your emails to goodeveningghana@gmail.com and Mr. Afoko will take your questions. But one of the deciding factors on Saturday that will go through the minds of delegates as we gather is a question of who can ensure that if we were to be elected by Ghanaians in 2016, that will be protected and that there will be no reason for a court case. That's going to run through the minds of delegates in the choices that they make in terms of who is able to protect a victory if we get it, who is able to prepare us in a way that having won the campaign, we will win the election. That's going to be critical. Did you support the election petition?
I supported the election petition, yes.
You believe that the MPP, the NDC's verdict of victory had been stolen?
I supported the petition on 2 grounds. When you talk of belief, I thought rather than believed. As I told you, I'm a Catholic. I believe as a Catholic. I don't believe in this. I thought that there was something wrong there and that we could get to the bottom of it by going to court. But the court has spoken. I will not begin to go back.
Did the MPP lose its guard in 2012?
Yes, we did.
Why did you?
Several factors.
And how did you?
Several factors. Several factors.
Were your leaders incompetent?
The party, I would not call it incompetence. I would say that the party did not harness all its resources, especially its human resource, and it did not put in its best effort. And that is why I'm putting myself forward. That's why I'm in this, because I believe I can. That's why I'm here.
What kind of expertise do you have that make you believe that you can lead the NPP as national chairman,
well, you see,
standing in the stead of some of the great politicians? For
starters, I come with a lot of experience. Experience that I have gathered over the years from my personal life, from my political activity as a young man, right through till now. I also come in with experience in business. I have a lot of skills that are transferable. I mean, and in this day and age, politics, modern politics, is business. The way you organize a business conglomerate, that is how you organize a political party and organize it effectively. I believe that members of my party, if they entrust the chairmanship to me, they will see a difference. They will see the sort of change that I'm going to bring to this party in terms of how the party is run, in terms of how we prepare the party for a general election. So I really believe that with the blessing of God, once the delegates on Saturday make me the chairman of the party, I bring all of this to bear.
What is wrong with the NDC today and the NDC government? Why must Ghanaians be thinking about an alternative?
You see, for me, I could have just gone into the trenches and said, oh, the NDC, there's nothing good about the NDC. But we have to deal with political reality. What is not good about the NDC or what is wrong? I believe that my party is a better alternative. That's what I believe.
The NPP is a better alternative?
Yes.
Because he has better people?
We have better ideas. we have better ideas, not people. People are people. The human resource base is there. We have better ideas. We come from a position where we have built over the years a kind of cumulative institutional wisdom, which even at one point in this world was not the orthodoxy, but it's gradually become the orthodoxy. I believe that my party has that. I believe that my party, anybody who is watching this program, who has lived long enough in Ghana will tell you that you've seen the difference.
Between the MPP and the NDC.
And yes.
There's a bit of tribal issues coming up, and it always does come up in politics of a nation state like Ghana.
Yes.
The point is that your ambition to become national chairman could be undermined by the anointing, as it appears to be, of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as a sure running mate should Nana Akufo-Addo become the presidential flag bearer for your party. That Dr. Bawumia is from the north, and Paul Afoko, if he's chairman, would be from the north as well. Have you heard that on your campaign trail, and how have you responded to that?
Yes, I have heard it, but I have tried as much as possible not to get involved in that. You see, but I mean, I thank you for this question. It's an opportunity for me to respond. One, when you say the North, we are not just one homogeneous group sitting there. If we are going to be doing like for like, then our party stands accused. Mm-hmm. You see, I am a Bulsa.
Bulsa.
Bulsa, B-U-I-L-S-A.
From Upper East.
From Upper East, Sandema. I speak Bwili. Bawumia is a Mampusi from Wali Wali, and he speaks Mampuli from Northern region. Northern region. We are two different regions. I'm a Christian, I'm a Catholic. Bawumia is a Muslim. Mm-hmm. These are the differences. Mm-hmm. So it's not, we Northerners are not just one mass. We are not. I mean, the people, a lot of people...
As it is in the South. Southerners are not just one.
Exactly.
There's Ghana, there's Ewe, there's
and a lot of Southerners, when they hear that you are a Northerner, the first conclusion is, oh, then you must be a Muslim. Have you come across that?
Yes.
Or have you been guilty of that yourself? Mm-hmm. You see, now, when we look at our party has never gone out picking people for positions based on ethnicity or tribe. I mean, at one point, President Kufuor, he had a chairman who was a Southerner, and if we narrow it down further, an Akan. He had a general secretary who was also an Akan. I can name them. Then, and he had that for 2 terms. He had Dambochwe, he had Ohilinto, he had Iseku, and he had Macmeno. And there's nothing wrong with that. So why should there be anything wrong with Bawumia being a running mate? And don't forget, let's not forget, the position of running mate is not an elected position. You and I know that if Nana Akufo-Addo becomes the flag bearer of the MPP again, I think it's a sure bet that he's going to go for Dr. Bawumia. Yes. That is his choice. It's his prerogative. It is only Nana Addo who can say, I don't want Bawumia again. And he cannot be saying it because Paul Afoko is from the north.
So you think it's a ludicrous
argument? I think it's visible. It's visible. And you see...
And it makes you a bit emotional. Are you angry with that?
No, I'm not angry. I find it... you see, I think that whoever does it is making a playground attempt at trying to rationalize away something that cannot be rationalized. You see, and some of them have gone further to say that it will stop Bawumia from having any political ambition of becoming the flag bearer of this party in future. And I say, please, I become party chairman by 2017, the end of 2017, my tenure is over. And we will not go for another flag bearer until...
So long as you're in power, until 2020?
Yeah.
Let me take a break. When I come back from the break, Mr. Afoko will tell us about his views about the MPP's flag bearership lead, and also the national executive and the party's conference that's happening there are issues that the candidates will not be allowed to speak. That would be the first time I would have ever seen that at any NPP or any major political party conference where the candidates who are vying for positions cannot address the delegates. It will be weird if it happens that way on Saturday, and it will be very unlike the NPP. But information from the NPP office appear that the candidates would not be allowed to speak. I asked Mr. Afoko his views on that one, and also about the organization of the conference itself after the break. Welcome back to the show, and thank you very much for your time. Mr. Afoko is our guest tonight. The emails have been coming in, and Jesse says, Mr. Afoko is such a nice man with vision. He's the best candidate. I think he's humble, seeing him for the first time. Jesse is writing to us from Sunyani. And Samuel says, of all the aspirants for the chairmanship position, they are all men of substance, but Mr. Afoko is the best placed politically and strategically. The NPP stand to gain more with him. He represents unity and inclusion within and without the NPP. Let's vote for him. Speedy recovery to the next General Secretary, he says. This is a clear supporter of Kwabena Ejapon and Mr. Afoko. This other one is coming to us from Accra. Mr. Afoko is the best man to lead the NPP to victory come 2016. Paul Afoko is the real incarnation of the great Dombo. Afoko all the way, he says. Paul Afoko's new plan for power is all what we need to approach 2016 elections and guarantee us victory. Have you been sharing a new plan for power with delegates?
Yes.
I think he deserves to lead our party. Please, I don't know if he can help me to find a job. I like him too. Daniel Mensah, can you help him to find a job? He didn't say anything about his credentials. Daniel Mensah, please come back to us with what kind of job you're looking for and who you are. Mr. Afoko, you are fresh, Keke. This is from Stephen Dazi. Hope you win. Serve Ghana with your heart and not just your political mind. God be with you. Gafaru says, thank you for bringing Mr. Afoko on your program. Wish him well for me. I sincerely hope that he wins. Charles says, is it true you have been promising the party of fueling the motorbikes to be used for the campaigning? Did you promise that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Let's hear you now, Mr. Afoko, on some of the issues about the Saturday's event. Yes. Is it a confirmation that candidates cannot speak?
Yes.
You will not be allowed to address the delegates?
No, we will not be allowed to address the delegates. We were called to the last meeting, which was a day after NEC had met. And they told us that it was a decision that NEC had arrived at, that we were 44 of us, were too many, and if they allowed us to speak, then the Congress would run late or it would overrun. There was.
But how did you become 44? National chairman is 4 people.
Yes.
General secretary is 3 people.
4.
4. Yes, that's 8.
Yes, but vice chairman position, then you go to women organizer, youth organizer, national coordinator, so many positions.
Can they strike a compromise for chairman, general secretary, and say national organizer?
Well, it didn't seem there was any room left for discussion because this was a fait accompli. NEC has agreed it, so you take it.
Do you accept that?
Accept? No, but what can I do? What can I do?
So at which point can you talk to delegates now? You can be talking to delegates now.
Yes, I am. I made my position, my views known indoors over there. In fact, there's one young man who's been making the airwaves, Richard.
Yeah, trying to go to court.
Yeah, Richard Nyama, my younger brother, talking about going to court if we were not allowed to speak because it amounted to gagging us. I would agree with him that we're being gagged, but to go to court, no.
So the General Secretary, who is a competitor for this position, the Honorable Usuefri Sir John, would he give a General Secretary's report? Would he address the Congress?
Paul, you see, for me, this particular situation is a first for our party. And it also highlights, as it's said all the time, every human institution and whatever we do evolves. Whatever we do evolves. For now, we have had this situation where incumbents are all going back for their positions. Almost to the last person.
The women's organizer is there, yes, of course.
Almost the last person. Almost the last person.
They're all in.
And therefore, we have a situation where they are the ones who write the rules of engagement. The General Secretary.
Oh, they didn't step aside. The party didn't find a committee to do it. They are still doing playing their role.
They did, yes.
As planning the Congress.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's what has happened?
Well, the people they have appointed. Some are appointees, some are employees. They are the ones who are now a NECMET. Which is NEC?
The National Executive Committee.
Yes.
Which includes General Secretary and Chairman.
And Chairman, yes. Chairman is
and all those who are contesting.
Yes.
And Vice Chairman Fred Owari.
And made the decision. So it's an evolving situation. I think that this party, whatever happens, we would need once again to look at this situation. Because nothing is perfect in life. We would need, we haven't ever been confronted with this situation.
So if the chairman, Jacob Echebe-Lamte, who is the incumbent chairman, is allowed to speak because he's an incumbent chairman, would you be unhappy with that?
Well, if it's only to present his report, which is required, it's a requirement to present his report to the party. And that's why, if you remember, there was this talk about doing 10 congresses. And I went on air to say, no, I thought it was wrong. We must come
a centralized
together.
one.
Yes, and I was told if I didn't like that, I could go set the sea ablaze, you know, but...
Eventually, reason stood.
Yes, reason stood, National Council intervened.
Yes.
You see, the whole situation here being that our Congress is not just to go elect national officers.
It's not a one-item
conference. No, it's not a one-item.
It's a full conference.
Yes, and the chairman of the party has to give his report, almost like a State of the Nation.
And you didn't have any conference last year, the new Patriotic Party?
No, we've not had one. Not one. Since.
Since when?
Since this executive came in.
2008?
We haven't had one.
Really?
We've had one, but it was a manifesto.
Oh, in the election year 2012?
Yes, it was a manifesto
that's interesting.
launch.
So you've not had a Congress for, what, 4 years?
Yeah, no, we haven't had anything. We haven't had party...
So this is a major one?
It is major for us. It is major for us as a party. We are all looking forward to this conference, this Congress, so that we will have an accounting.
So tomorrow you get back on the road and you are heading for Tamale on Saturday?
Yes, I am going to Tamale tomorrow. Because I have done, as I said, the country twice.
That's interesting.
So I'm going back
Let's
now.
talk in our last part of this program about Nana Akufo-Addo and his ambition to become the flag bearer of your party once again.
Yes.
Is it a good thing?
Is it a good thing? Yes, it's good. It's democracy. We're a democratic party. It's good. It's good. He wants to be the flag bearer. He feels able to go into, as he said before he went on the break, the hurly-burly of politics. He's up to it.
There are those in your party who think that he shouldn't be challenged for the purposes of presenting a homogeneous idea to Ghanaians.
But that is the one thing our party is not. We are not a monolithic. We're a democratic party.
So you will encourage a challenge for Nana?
I will not encourage. I would say everybody has the democratic right to contest for that position. That's what I would say. I mean, it's just me sitting here. Then I might as well say that I shouldn't go for the chairmanship.
Do you have the support of President Kufuor in this, your ambition? You, Mr. Afoko,
President Kufuor is an elder statesman, a senior statesman. And I have been close to President Kufuor, and I respect him a lot, just as I respect Nana Akufo-Addo. But I am closer to President Kufuor.
So you have a support?
But in this regard, I'll tell you in one breath, not asked President Kufuor, but I informed President Kufuor of my intention to go for the chairmanship position. And this is not a secret because I've said it before. He immediately said, go talk to Nanado.
Oh, he said go and speak to Nana Akufo-Addo?
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I went.
And you did?
I did.
What did Nana Akufo-Addo say? Can you divulge that here?
Yeah, it was nice. What he said
you had a nice meeting?
Nice. Yes, very, very nice. And he actually made allusion to the party looking to the north, etc., etc. And he wouldn't stand in my way and all that. So it was good.
I see.
It was good.
Well, that's interesting. For Mr. Kufuor to suggest to you to go speak to Nanado.
Why not?
I'm happy to, I'm sort of intrigued to hear that.
Well,
it leaves us a bit more investigation to
contrary,
see how your party's organism works these days.
Contrary to what people perceive, the two leading gentlemen of our party have a very good relationship. They have.
So if you don't win on Saturday, Mr. Afoko, would you still be in it?
In the party?
Not in the party, but in the thick of affairs, in the hurly-burly, going into 2016?
Well, that would mean that the party has rejected my new plan for power and chooses to do something else. So my services are always available to the party.
It means you retire to your corner and wait to be called upon.
The party will, whoever is running the party will then decide whether I have anything to offer or not. And if they decide that I do, I will. If not, I'll continue in my own old way of focusing on the part of the country I come from and working there to serve my party.
If you win, how does your plan for power roll out? Immediately?
It does. It really must roll out immediately. We've had this situation where the party literally goes to sleep in between elections. And then 12 weeks to an election, suddenly the party is energized. Wake up, go, fight an election. No, with me, God willing, I become chairman of this party. I have told the party members out there that within 4 months of me becoming chairman of this party, I will wake this party up. I will resource this party. I will get this party working. And it will work right through till 2016.
And deliver victory.
And deliver victory. And you see, resourcing this party is not just the material resources, but the human resource base of the party has to be enhanced. Training for all aspects of officers. We have to do that. This party must work. We are the largest party in Ghana, you know that.
Well, I don't know. I have to leave it here. Thank you very much for coming. We wish you the best of luck.
Can I say one thing?
One thing, yes, one.
My position on the ballot is number 3.
Number 3, okay.
I represent the 3 pillars of our party, Dankwa Dombo Buzia, united in Paul Afoko for victory.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
very
much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
We hope to hear the good news on Saturday. We will be there to bring it out live.
Oh, I'll see you in Tamale.
I'll see you.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Cheers. Excellent.
Right. Do I hear?
You can wait. You can wait a little bit.